Manitoulin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the acting Premier. Mr. Bartolucci made an announcement this morning that Cliffs Resources is planning a smelter in Sudbury. This morning, the minister has refused to indicate how much of the ore extracted in Ontario will be processed in Ontario. And he also mentioned an exemption. Why won't the government say whether Cliffs has been granted an exemption to ship resources out of Ontario for processing?
Deputy Premier.
Mr. Speaker, a quarter of all metal resources in Canada are processed in Ontario. This is good news for Ontario. It is good news. We are locating a processing facility in Caprio. I wish the NDP would celebrate that, Mr. Speaker. So we have a processing plant that will create 450 jobs in construction, 450 permanent jobs, Mr. Speaker. And we are proud to celebrate this announcement today. We look forward to Cliffs now that, because of the material nature of this, they had to go public, as we did, to disclose just how important this is, both to Cliffs, to Ontario, to the First Nations of Ontario, to all Ontarians. You know what, Mr. Speaker? This is good news. We're processing in Ontario, Mr. Speaker, something we've delivered and you haven't, Mr. Speaker.
Let me be clear about where our position is that we support good jobs in Ontario. But we want to make sure that we're getting good jobs in here, for all Ontarians. Although Cliffs announced a smelter in Sudbury, the company is still in talks about getting exemptions to ship the semi-processed ore overseas for processing. Our communities need resources mined in Ontario to stay in Ontario for processing, to create stable jobs and take full advantage of the opportunities that a Ring of Fire presents. Why won't this government say whether it plans on granting an exemption to the company to allow it to ship raw exports outside of Ontario?
Question. Thank you.